As well, we have to be careful of certain seeds that are in some of the fruit. Are there some seeds that could be toxic?
Yes, of course. There are some seeds that have caused some preoccupations over the year. Of course, the most famous one was the avocado. Now there's perplexing incidents where we've seen birds in the wild, of feral parrots in Miami feeding on avocado trees. But it remains a fruit that should be offered with extreme caution, and I would recommend that we just don't offer it altogether, because it is still found within most of the toxic lists of fruits to be offering to our birds. And, you know, I don't know that we would ever, I can guarantee you that we would never actually feed avocado to our colony in Harry just to test it. So in doubt, I think the best thing to do is not to offer it. Some people are concerned with some of the seeds that are found in the orange and in some of the citrus fruits. And so avoid these altogether. This can also be a problem with some of the grapes that we offer, so perhaps this is something that you should not be offering. And if you do, once again, make sure that you're peeling anything that is doubtful, and that you're offering these on a limited exposure within the cage, or you're hand feeding these to your birds.
Some of the fruit doesn't have to be peeled, though. I mean, some of the birds will eat the peel.
Well, especially if you're growing your own garden, and you're being as holistic as possible and having an organic garden, and that you know where the food is coming from, then I think that you don't have to peel everything that you're offering your bird. We here in Quebec, in Canada, we have right now our blueberry season is starting up, and of course these are amazing fruit to be offering to our companion birds, and I would not recommend anybody be peeling these, because all the nutritional value is often in the coating, in the peel. Yeah, so that would be kind of pointless as well.
I think we need to explore the topic of fruits and vegetables a little bit more. There are some fruits and vegetables that we didn't really mention that birds really love. And
are very important.
Are important to them.
Yes. I think that we definitely need to talk about the apples and the kiwis, for sure, very healthy for our birds. We've talked about blueberries, and unfortunately everything that stains tends to be very, very nutritious for our birds. So whether we're talking about the pomegranate, which can be a very highly
antioxidant?
Yes, antioxidant food, just like the blueberries are. I think these are very, very important to offer. Of course, we're offering them in stainless steel or ceramic dishes. And so the fear factor of it staining the whole cage should not necessarily be an issue. But definitely these are ones to recommend. Quantities are very important. People think that an Amazon can eat half an apple. And if it becomes a play food, then we're defeating the purpose. Birds should learn how to play with play objects and some foraging toys, but they should not be playing with their food. And so offering too large quantities of food is not necessarily favorable for your husbandry of the cage. Cleaning of the cage is going to get all the cage all messy and everything gets sticky. And so it's very important to realize that our birds are very small creatures, and that for them, perhaps an apple a day for a human is okay, but for a bird, perhaps 1/50th of this apple would suffice. Very important, we're talking about hygiene now. The perches that are found, right beside these feeding dishes are very important to mention. Now, Suzanne, do you think we should be talking about the precautions to be using for not placing some of these perches around feeding dishes?
I definitely think this is extremely important.
Yes.
You have a knotted rope perch here.
Yes.
This would not be a good perch.
No, these cotton perches are hard to clean.
Yeah.
Yeah. And definitely, if they do get soiled, then they have to be cleaned. And if they have to be cleaned, they have to be thoroughly dried, or else, fungus is going to grow on them and bacteria. So definitely putting a cotton perch in a cage is quite favorable, but definitely not beside feeding dishes. The petty perches as well can be very, very difficult to clean, and almost impossible to clean thoroughly, aside from using a toothbrush or placing these in the dishwasher. But these are very porous, and therefore, once again, we do not recommend that we use these around feeding dishes. And the most dangerous one, for sure, to be placing around a food dish is the cactus perch. This has proven in the past to be the source of contamination. And we also have a fabulous article from Dr. Lupu, who is a Canadian veterinarian from the Montreal Exotic Animal Hospital, that has shared with us a very important and alarming condition that had occurred with an Amazon that was repetitively being contaminated with a cactus perch that had been placed beside a soft food dish. And so the bacteria were always recontaminating the bird, and this was causing, of course, some major health issues with this individual. So important to think about everything hygiene. And you always mention the importance of having 2 sets of everything.
Exactly.
I think that the kebabs as well need to have 2 sets, and the pinches that we're using to attach the kale and the dandelion should definitely be replaced every day, and the other one should be tossed into the dishwasher.
So the type of perch that we would recommend to be beside a food dish would be
plastic perches.
Plastic.
And these are usually supplied with a cage, and a lot of people don't know what to use with them, because we definitely recommend that there be natural perches inside of the bird's cage. But there is a utility for them, and that is to be placed strategically beside the soft foods that we're offering our birds or the fruits and vegetables.